Hello everyone. I'm Shiro. Today I'm gonna do a vox pop, and my first person I'm gonna be asking here. You can present yourself.
Hello, my name is MG11, but yeah, that's me. I'm Shiro's friend.
I'm in art school. I want to go into animation later. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything the internet knows about me.
The first question is, what is your opinion on the use of ChatGPT plagiarism, and what would be the correct response to it? As off cheating.
In my opinion, thing should be erased from the planet.
Yeah, what's your thought on like people cheating on like school assignments?
People cheating with it, in my opinion, if I want to stay polite, they should get a very bad, how do you say that already? Consequence.
Yeah, well, they're already...
No, the consequence there already aren't
well, it's
bad
the same
enough
as plagiarism.
I think that if you want to plagiarize something, you should plagiarize it in the right way. I feel like if you want to cheat, you got to put in the effort to cheat at least. And like ChatGPT is, well, in my opinion, it's kind of immoral to use because in practice it does do a lot of harm, not only to, people who actually have careers that are being stolen by AI, but also to the environment and to people who are being directly affected by data processing stuff. I think it's immoral to use ChatGPT, A, and B, I think that ChatGPT is kind of inaccurate. Like, it is good sometimes, but I feel like it's far more of a support role. And to plagiarize things using ChatGPT, well, that means that you're using like only ChatGPT in a lot of cases. And I feel like that isn't acceptable because people can't learn with that.
Do you think that cheating in academics is more common these days?
Yeah, it is more common.
I'm gonna say probably yes, because there's like a lot more online schools and a lot more things like, AI or whatever going around. But I'm gonna say there's probably a more cheating going around. But yeah.
What would be the correct answer to counteract these new ways of cheating in school?
Well, the possibility to counter them are... We already have them, I think. It's just we don't have the good ways to put them in practice.
I see. And
what would be the good way? I don't really know them.
I feel like people need to realize that AI is probably here to stay. So I feel like instead of going against it, which is not going to help in a situation where you have teenagers, because teenagers are never going to listen to an adult that goes, "Don't do this."
Yeah.
If we're talking about, secondary school. Whatever. I feel like instead of just saying point blank, "Don't do this," you should actually teach people how to educate themselves or correctly source things. Teach them why it's important. And don't make out AI to be bad or whatever. I feel like the most important thing that you need to learn is how to form your own opinion and how to be able to gauge if something is correct throughout multiple, sites or sources or whatever. And if people learn that, I feel like they'll be more aware of how AI sort of shifts our perception of things and how it isn't always right. I feel like if they learn these things also, they'll probably be more against cheating because they'll realize that answers aren't as simple as what AI or other similar methods of cheating give us.
Some students claim that cheating, mostly in school, is but only preparing them for their future in the workforce. Do you agree?
In some way, I do agree, but in others, no, I don't. Well, I can agree on one specific thing that, in my opinion, is really an issue with how our the workspace and thing like that works in our world. That they don't check the way you get the grade. They only check the grade. They don't care if you cheat or anything. Like, the only thing that matters to them is result.
Although I am against cheating because of the effects that it has on how we are able to educate ourselves, and because it uses because today this implies the use of AI. I'm also not really against cheating, and I think that it's fine if you want to cheat so long as you actually learn things depending on what the context of the cheating is. So I'm not really for or against it, but I will say that some students do have a point in some jobs cheating isn't unhelpful. I wouldn't say it's helpful either.
Sherma!
What's the morality of cheating? Is it ethical to do so in an academic environment?
No, it is not.
Why?
There's no reason why you should be cheating. It's unfair for everyone.
I think it really depends, because honestly, I don't think that, I mean, morals are subjective anyways.
Yeah,
I would say that in university or higher, I think that cheating can actually result in dangerous consequences, like in medicine and stuff. You shouldn't do that, but in school, the consequences are very little. They only affect you.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's morally unwrong. It's morally wrong to cheat.
Yeah, because I'd assume like cheating in primary or secondary, like school, is probably just a way to like move on from the things that you're less good at, and even then you're not going to be like doing that later on. So
Yeah. And precisely, it only affects you in secondary or primary school. At higher levels of education, you're learning things that may affect other people if you cheat.
yeah.
So, as long as it doesn't affect other people, I don't think that it has a moral importance to it.
Do you think that motivation of the students impacts whether they cheat or not?
I think it's one of the main factor. Like, if you do not have the motivation to do something, you will obviously not want to do it like fairly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oftentimes, students cheat because they feel that they cannot learn the subject, or that it's too hard to learn.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say that the times where I've been tempted to cheat in class were always in my high school, my worst years of high school. So, it's definitely, if for me at least, it was definitely this feeling that I couldn't learn it, like actually learn it, or that it was too hard to learn it, or that I was too tired to learn it. And I feel like if you were not only able to motivate your students, but also able to change the system so that it wasn't the school system, so that it wasn't as well exhausting, honestly,
Yeah.
to learn all of these things. And I feel like if we were able to change the school system so that a lot of students didn't feel is quite often, sometimes rightfully so, that they were behind other students, and that they would not be able to, be equal with those students, I feel like cheating rates would go down.
Others claim that the best solution to this problem would be to create a sense of honor within the students to convince them not to cheat. Is it truly the best way to do so?
I don't think it's the best way. I will say that, there is the sense of honor definitely is sort of this thing that stop student like that. It's sort of like a roadblock, right? That stops some students from cheating. It's kind of there like a sign. It goes, "Don't cheat. It's dishonorable." And a lot of students, particularly, honor students or students that have always worked hard or had good grades, are going to look at that and go, "Okay, I'm not going to do that." But the thing is, with the honor code, you're sort of not thinking of the students who are not having a good or easy time, in fact, in schools, who do not have good grades. Those students, they're not going to look at that sign and go, "Well, guess I need to be honorable," because that's just not how they're going to get through school. If they're honorable, they're still going to get punished by having horrible grades and feeling horrible. So why not cheat, Thing is, too, like, if there are two alternatives to a student that's having a hard time, A, be honest about it, and, work for it. You have to work really hard, and you still get punished by having bad grades and by having people tell you things like you can try harder, or you need to get better grades, or blah, 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 right? And by being left behind by their other students, by feeling inferior, right? But if you do cheat, you're being punished by being called, by, like, feeling dishonorable, or by being classed as, like, a bad person. So either way, it's a favorable situation.
Hello, sir. Oh my god, why are you throwing bell at me? Oh, you drowned. Dumbass.
What kind of other environment would incentivize these kinds of behavior?
Sports.
Work environments, competitive work environments often have a lot of the same sort of ethics where it's like, well, if no one finds out. And I feel like schools really are the perfect environment for this, because you are obligated to get through school.
Mhm.
And at some point, it's kind of like survival of the fittest. In work environments where it's competitive, or if you need money, if you're in an unfavorable situation, cheating is always going to seem like a good answer because it's an easy answer.
Yeah, it's a faster and more efficient way.
Yeah.
Do you think these kinds of behaviors, such as the cheater's mindset, could lead to poor development of those who use these kinds of methods?
Yeah, cheating can definitely lead to poor development. Like, cheating again is trying to find an easier way to learn something, or trying to like put in less effort into the learning or into the working for to get to a certain goal. So it can, like, sort of not only give you the sense that you can't do things the right way, but it can also, I feel, negatively affect your education, or it has a lot of effects that can be negative like that. But honestly, I'm not a psychologist, so I couldn't really name them.
Why do you think it's so common for one to cheat?
I think people in our days becoming more and more like, they don't want to do the effort that they need to do to, like, achieve what they need, their goal and everything. So they resort to the easy way.
Yeah, I see. So basically, you're telling us they're becoming lazy.
Well, I feel like schools are a really competitive environment, and the fact that education is a necessity, and also very conformative, can make it so that anyone who feels like an outlier, or anyone who doesn't particularly want to go to school, will feel the need to cheat. I also feel like this applies to any job, right? Where having a job is, for most people, a necessity, and it can also be very competitive. So I feel like cheating is influenced by three things: the necessity of the task that requires the cheating, the consequences of not succeeding at that task, so like the competition in that field or whatever, and the difficulty of the task that requires cheating.
Yeah.
Do you think cheating is a part of human nature?
I guess you could say yes, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Humans are inherently lazy. It's not a bad thing, but we are inherently lazy, and that can definitely lead to some things like cheating, which is often done for ease. But at the same time, we need to remember that, if cheating isn't done for ease, it's sometimes done by people who are like desperate and stuff, which you can see a lot in like schools and stuff, right? Students who are burnt out or panicking or whatever can turn to cheating. That's just kind of like a sort of, I'm gonna say, almost survival like panic.
Yeah.
It's also definitely an ease thing. And cheating is influenced by our instinctive human desire to live a comfortable life, and also by how like we place so much importance on education or work.
Is cheating in a relationship similar to the type of cheating seen in scholar establishments?
No. Cheating in relationship and cheating in establishment is something very different, I think. You cannot compare the two.
I'm gonna say no, because I feel like cheating in a relationship is more so of a personal thing, whereas it's, yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but it seems very different from the cheating in a work or school environment, because those are more so done out of a need for success. And I don't know what the cheating in relationships is, but I don't think that it's going to guarantee success in the relationship. Both are sort of similar in that do they are choices that we make for our human desires. Cheating is to make something easier, and a relationship, it's for cheating in a relationship is for a human desire. But I think they're entirely different things, if I'm being honest.
Why do you think one would cheat in a relationship?
First, there is the possibility that the person doesn't feel great in the relationship they're already in.
I think that it can depend on a lot of things. It might be because you don't feel satisfied in the relationship, and cheating can help make you feel like satisfied or like thrilled or whatever. I'm gonna say people probably do it for the most because of human desire, but also because they're trying to find something that maybe isn't in the relationship, or they're trying to make themselves maybe feel better about themselves. Again, I don't know much about cheating, so.
From where do you think this cycle began, where cheating has become so common? Where do you think it
Well,
started?
cheating always was something common. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there always were cheating in the school and every sphere of life. But I think since the rise of AIs and new technology like that, it has become more and more common.
Also,
So,
I gotta say that the cheating thing, this is in theory, right? But in practice, I think that it really depends on the context with cheating. I don't think that it's entirely okay in any context, but I do believe that morals are subjective. So, honestly, knock yourself out, if as long as it doesn't affect anyone else.